Hello there, my name is Anna Lundberg. I'm the founder of One Step Outside, author of Leaving the Corporate 9 to 5 and host of the Reimagining Success podcast. Now, we have been doing a content series over the last few weeks, I hope you've been following along, around creating the freedom and flexibility you want in your career to be able to have a young family. So why running your own business is, I believe, the best way to do exactly that. We've looked at how to set up your business, how to prepare for your maternity leave, and so on. And this week I thought it'd be fun, as we wrap up this particular content theme for this time round, to look at the things that you learn as a new parent that you can absolutely apply in your business. So these are 5 things that I think will make you a better entrepreneur when you come back to work after you've had your little baby. I'm sure there are many, many more. In fact, I know there are. So if you think of any others, I'd love for you to comment below. Let me know what you've learned as a parent, whether you're an old parent, as it were, you've got grown-up kids, or you've got a new baby, or if you just want to pop in and share your feedback as well. I'd love to hear what you think you can learn as a parent that you can apply to your business. So without further ado, 5 things. Number 1 is getting out of your comfort zone. Now, if you know me, you know that I'm a fan of getting out of your comfort zone anyway. My brand is called One Step Outside, which comes from the quote, "Everything you've ever wanted is one step outside your comfort zone." Getting out of your comfort zone means growing and learning, and yes, it's scary, but it's also exciting and incredibly rewarding. Now, as a parent, you're absolutely going to have to get out of your comfort zone. Everything is new and unfamiliar, and so getting comfortable with being uncomfortable as a parent is really going to help you in your business as well. Now, related to that, number 2 is letting go of being perfect. Now, I'm sure many of you watching can relate to being a perfectionist, an alpha, an achiever type, whatever you want to call it, and it's very difficult to let go of control and to not give your best work, which of course is fantastic. But again, I think as a parent with limited time and energy, you're going to have to realise that perfection, and in fact for all of us, I think perfection is just not possible, let alone even desirable. So being able to see what is good enough, doing an incredible job, but then moving on to the next thing, I think is a value that we can all learn. We certainly will learn as a time-poor parent, and we can absolutely apply that to our business as well. Now, number 3, related to this as well, is getting ruthless with your priorities. Again, you're going to have even less time and energy than you had before, and so whereas before perhaps you had the whole day stretching out ahead of you to work on your business, that's certainly something I had before. You're working from home, you've got the whole day, no client calls, fantastic. But actually suddenly now you've only got a couple of hours, you will be surprised as to how much work you can squeeze into those 2 or 3 hours. And again, because you've clarified your priorities, you'll be really working on those really important things that are going to move the needle in your business, rather than be working through an endless to-do list. So being ruthless, getting clear on what your priorities are, and then having the discipline to stick to those and say no to the others is really going to stand you in good stead in your business as well. Now, number 4 is trusting your intuition. I think a lot of us have grown up in a very rational society. We know the pros, the cons, we get the information and knowledge, and certainly in a corporate job we can rely on senior directors with decades of experience, lots of advice to give, well-established systems and processes. That doesn't exist as an entrepreneur, and it certainly doesn't exist as a parent. As much as there may be experts and consultants and books and so on, ultimately this is your baby, it's you, it's your own preferences and your intuition as to what works for you as a family and what works for your baby. So you have to be really sensitive and in tune with the baby, and that is absolutely a critical skill as an entrepreneur as well. As much as I'm a fan of vision and strategy and planning, ultimately you will have to learn to go with the flow a little bit, adapt and grow. The market will change, your clients will respond in a different way, and so on. And so having that flexibility, which in fact is the next one, is going to be incredibly important as well. So trusting your intuition, knowing what feels right for you, rather than necessarily looking for the right answer externally, is going to be critical. And I already got ahead of myself there a little bit to number 1, which is being flexible. Of course, I always talk about freedom, flexibility and fulfillment. Well, this is your chance to really exhibit and embody that flexibility. As a parent, you cannot control every aspect of your child's life, of your own life as a family, and certainly that's not possible in a business as well, as I was saying. So being flexible, having again that vision, the strategy and so on, but then embracing that flexibility is going to be absolutely critical. So again, number 1, getting out of your comfort zone. Number 2, letting go of trying to be perfect. Number 3, being ruthless with your priorities. Number 4, trusting your intuition. And number 5, being flexible. So with that, those are 5 things I think you can learn as a new parent that you can absolutely apply in your business. Again, I'd love to hear from you. Comment below if you have any thoughts on what you've learned as a parent that makes you a better entrepreneur as well. And with that, I'm wrapping up this content series on having a baby and a business, and tune in next week to find out where we're going to be shifting in terms of our content next week. So hope you've enjoyed this series. Do go back and watch the previous videos if you missed those, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.